what I've got over here. Hey everybody. Well, this isn't the one about the UV yet. That is coming. I have the lights. I have, I think, 2 or 3 different epoxies as of right now. I'm waiting. It'd probably be another week or 2. I'm waiting to see. I think someone was going to send me another epoxy to try out along, with the video. So there's just an update there. I do have the 2 different types of lights that I'm needing. I have my main UV epoxies. I have some cheap Chinese stuff. I have some Loons, some Solar Res, Diamond Hard or Diamond Clear, and I think someone is sending me a Luma light, but I'm not sure. But what I want to get at today is, I don't remember if I've ever done a video on it or not, the initial prep on a lure. Now this will be a short, sweet, simple how I do it thing. First thing, once you get your lure, you want to wipe it down really good. You can use like a warm soapy water, or you can get, like I have, where are you at? There you are. I got this KBS Clean. It's a water-based degreaser and cleaner that is dilutable, and I didn't know it until I was like almost out of the bottle, and luckily where I was almost out was actually what needed to fill the bottle. So this stuff goes a long ways. But you'll just take some on a rag and you want to scrub it. Scrub your lure really good, because what you're trying to do is, the way these are made, there's obviously a mold release agent, and that lets the plastic come out of the molding. And if they don't have all that off, or if it's come into contact in anything between the time it was made till it got to you, or oils from your skin, stuff like that, you want to clean it off real good. So once you got it scrubbed, wipe it down, get it nice and dry. You could rinse it if you wanted to. I haven't had any issues with this, just wiping it off. And then normally what I'll do, especially on glides, I've already done this one, but up in here, sometimes you'll have some flashing and stuff like that. So you'll want to take your X-Acto knife or some way, get in there, scrape the lines off, make sure everything's nice and free, make sure nothing's going to interfere with the way the lure needs to work. Check the tops, sides. If you have a bill on your lure, you want to check your bill. Make sure there's no excessive flashing, little flags that stick off that need trimmed off. Then after that, take you some sandpaper. You can use sandpaper. If you're not going to use sandpaper, you can don't go to the kitchen store, go to the hardware store. Get you the maroon scuffing pads. That works really good. Right now I'm using it'd be somewhere around a 180 to 220 grit sanding sponge. You don't want to use the paper, you want the sponge, because it helps get into all the little nooks and crannies. But that's what the scuffing pad's really good at. It's really good at getting in there and getting all them different spots. So what you're looking for is, you don't want to sand the details away. You're just looking at scuffing the surface of the lure. The purpose of that is, if you just leave the lure smooth, no matter what primer you use, no matter what paint you use, it might be durable, but it's not going to get the maximum bond to the plastic. There are certain primers out there that help the bond, and my UVOS by Createx says it can. That'd be a good clear one. I know your Vallejo surface primers really bond well to plastic. Then you also have, let me find it here, the Createx Auto Colors 4004 transparent base. That works pretty good. Most of your primers, and like I said, UVLS, even though it doesn't say it's a primer, it works good as a clear primer. Most of your primers, they'll adhere to plastic really good. I really do recommend, if you're sticking with watercolors, Vallejo is one of the best. The surface primer, once it dries, it is like one of the best to hold the plastic that I have found in the water-based primers. But what you look for is, look at it like Velcro. If you have just a smooth surface, you know, your paint's like Velcro. It might, you know, stay on it, but it can eventually slide off or chip or flake. Now it will bond, but it'd be a weak bond. Whereas if you have some light scratches in there using sandpaper or a scuffing pad, and if you're worried about your scratches, then use a scuffing pad. You won't see them in the paint at all. It acts like Velcro with the paint, and it actually locks together really good. It gives you the best hold that you're going to get with whatever system you're using. So that's what you're looking for. So you want to say here, and just like I said, you're not trying to sand details away. I'll show you what this lure looks like beforehand. This is a textured baby belly or a wee shad. And all you're doing is, like I said, you're scuffing it. I'm not sanding into it, not changing the profile of it. I'm not taking any detail away. I mean, you're going to see these details will still be there. And if you're using automotive or solvent-based paints and primers, there's a couple companies that make a plastic adhesion promoter and etching primers. Them would work really good to start out with after this process. Even an etching primer, even though it says etching, whether it's metal or plastic, it still needs a little bit of a tooth or scratch to hold on to. And like I said, we're not like gouging this thing. Even though this is sandpaper, you're not going to see it in the paint when I'm done. Now if you get too coarse, or if you use like a regular sandpaper, you do run a risk of making scratch marks in the bait or in the lure. That's not what you're looking for. What I mean by scratch marks is obviously deep gouges. You're scratching it up. You're going to make it hazy. You're going to make it foggy. Even if you're looking for a clear lure, this still works. If you're looking to do a clear, transparent, see-through lure, you can definitely go to that scuffing pad, scuff it up really good, and once we're done, and you go to put your transparent primer on there, it goes clear. A lot of times it will actually go more clear than what it was, because you're essentially cleaning the plastic as well by doing this. So any discoloration, anything like that, you're cleaning it. You're taking it down to what the plastic is capable of being. And like I said, I know you see some sanding dust coming off here. All it's doing is smoothing out the rough edges from where the two halves of the lure meet, where they glued it together. You're smoothing all that out, and you're just scuffing it up. So like I said, even though you're seeing all this powder come off here, then just blow the excess dust off. Now we're going to clean it again. Now you're going to be sitting there going, well, why'd you clean it the first time if you're going to clean it again? Well, the reason being, the first time I cleaned it to get all the contamination off of it, all the oils, all the residues, anything that could cause adhesion issues, anything that could cause the paint and primer not to stick. Even though you're sanding it, the sanding process can actually embed and push all that deeper into the plastic. So what that did is make sure you had a good clean surface to sand, so that when you sanded it, you didn't push all that dirt down in there. So we're going to wipe it off again. This time it's not taking off oils and residues. It's just removing all that loose dust. I'm trying to stay in camera so you can see. I'm not doing no sleight of hand. I'm not changing lures on you or nothing like that. Okay, got it good and dried off. And see, even though I sanded it, all that texture is still there. I didn't take no details away. All it did is along the glue line, it smoothed that out. It gave me a little bit of a scratch or a tooth for my primer and my paint to hold on to better. It will essentially allow everything to hold better. You know, everyone's all about on the clear coat. Obviously I'm doing a series on that, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Everyone's all about clear coat not chipping or chipping less or not doing this or not doing that. It's not all on the clear coat. It's not all the clear coat's job. It's also your job. If you don't prep the lure, if you just go straight to smooth plastic, you will not have as strong of a bond. I don't care what you say. We can dive into this. We can discuss and debate it all day long. I'm telling you right now, we can dive into painting process. We can dive into painting procedures, painting science, and even those that paint on surfaces and canvases and stuff like that, guess what they're looking for? Adhesion. You talk to an automotive painter, they always sand before they paint. You talk to anyone that works on a house, guess what? After they do their drywalling, their mudding, they spray a primer, and a lot of times they'll come back and scuff that. Not all the time, because household paint is a little different, but most painting procedures, in order to get maximum bond, if it's a non-porous surface, which non-porous means hard, glass, plastic, metal, stuff that doesn't absorb, they will recommend, I can't say require because they obviously can't force you to, but they highly recommend to give it a scratch, to sand it prior, to give the very first coat, whether it's a base coat of paint, it's a etching primer, it's a sealer, it's a regular primer, it's a clear primer, it gives it something to bond to hold to grab and lock in on. And that also will help keep chipping down, because all chipping is when something hits a hard surface and it's releasing from the subsurface that was painted and it's coming off of it. Well, obviously if it's holding on to it stronger, it's going to chip less, be harder to chip. Now, will this make your lure bulletproof? No. Baits will chip, baits will scratch. clear coats will inevitably fail. Paint procedures will inevitably fail. You realize how much force is in a lure when it hits something, and it's a small force of impact. So you're casting this, we'll just throw a wild number out there because I don't know, I have never checked one, but say a couple 100 feet a minute. Well, at that speed, and this is half an ounce, it's going to hurt if it hits you. Well, if it hits a rock or hits something hard, obviously, and it's always normally a small little piece of it, like this big, it goes bam. You're going to crack, chip, scratch, mar. You might get lucky and it glance off and not do nothing, but they will only do that for so long. It will eventually fail. So don't be mad if and when it happens. Just give your bait, you give your lure the best opportunity. Clean it, degrease it. Don't just run water over it. Use a degreasing, whether that be household, the detergent or soap that you use to clean your dishes. I know a lot of people use Dawn. Whether it be that or you actually get some sort of cleaning solution that's a degreaser cleaner. Now obviously I like this one because this cleaner, because it's water based, it doesn't leave a residue behind. Some degreasers, if you use them, they can leave a residue behind, so you will have to rinse them. But then after that, because that gets all the contaminations off, sand it, not with sandpaper, but with a sanding sponge or a scuffing pad. And I recommend the maroon one. It's not too coarse, it's not too fine, it's kind of that medium stream, and it does really good. Then blow the dust off of it, get your cleaning solution, clean the dust back off of it, dry it, and at that point, once it's good and dry, you can go ahead and start doing whatever you want to do with it. Even if you don't prime it, you will still have a better hold now than what you did before all this ever took place. And so, like I said, it's a short video. I just want to kind of show y'all what I do. Not telling you this has to be done. This is just what I do. I do it because of the knowledge that I do have. I do understand that painting a hard surface does require, for a better hold, to have a tooth or a scratch mark to hold on to. So there we are, folks. I hope that helps somebody. I know that there's no way to know that if you're getting benefits out of it or not. You just kind of got to trust the science behind it, so to say. Trust what's always been working for all painting industries out there on hard surfaces. Even industrial, I used to be a Boilermaker, and we built tanks. Well, before they come in with their coatings, guess what they did? They didn't sand it, but they sandblasted it, which gives it a texture. And so it's the same thing. They had to have a texture in order for their sealers and their primers to hold on to and build off of. So I hope this helps somebody. Like I said, keep tuned, because UV is coming next in our clear coat series. I know it's like the big demon out there in the lure world. Either you like it or you don't like it, and those that don't like it, they don't like it, and those that like it, they do like it. I'm probably one of the few that's in the middle. I understand that there's a purpose. It is usable, but I do understand that a lot of people are using it wrong, and I want to try and help people to use it right. So I love y'all. I appreciate it if you made it to the end of this video. If you have, please hit that subscribe button. Leave some comments down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up. Check out my other channels. I do have a Facebook. I have a TikTok. So just look up Rainbolt Custom Lures and you will find me. But I do appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Hope y'all have a good rest of your week.